Hey everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Myself, Neha Gupta, your mentor for Phase 1 General Awareness. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. And if the answer is yes, then please let me know that whether is there any kind of technical issue or not. Good evening, everyone. Okay, thank you so much, Vivek, for letting me know I'm clearly audible and visible. So now I would like to ask all of you, आप लोगों की तैयारी कैसी चल रही है? I hope you are preparing according to the timetable that we have given to you and you are able to adhere to your strict targets. And in case if you are not able to adhere to the targets, don't get disappointed because the time you will waste in disappointment, that time can let you cover the remaining part. Okay, so don't waste any time in disappointment. Chaliye, on that note, let's begin today's session. And I can clearly see that a very less number of students have come for the session of January part 2. It's like कि आपको सिर्फ first 100 questions में interest था, बाकी के remaining questions में बच्चों को interest नहीं. Nevertheless, let's begin the session. I hope all of you are aware of the crash course that we have launched. Okay. This crash course is for your preparation of RBI Grade B, and we have special mentorship sessions in those uh, as a part of the crash course. Okay, so in the mentorship session, what you can do is you can connect with the mentor directly, and the mentor is going to guide you with your weekly targets in addition to your grievance redressal. Okay, so if you really want to attend these sessions or if you want to get something good that can make you clear the exam, you can go for the crash course as well as the mentorship sessions. Okay, these sessions are a part of the crash course. Okay, so you are not going to get them until or unless you are a part of the course. Okay, so let's quickly begin with the question number 1. So actually it is 101, but I have numbered it from 1 onwards. So the next question is, where will the first meeting of the G20 Working Group on Environment and Climate Sustainability be held in February 2023? So here guys, Bangalore is the right answer. As far as G20 meetings are concerned, I have always told you that you should prepare a table for yourself in a sheet of paper. Okay, so that table should look like this kind of a table. Okay, so here what I have done is I have put all the G20 meetings that took place in the month of January in this one table alongside their places, venues. Okay, so the first meeting of the G20 Working Group on Environment and Climate Sustainability took place in Bangalore. The sensitization workshop on G20, give me a second. G20 Environment and Climate Sustainability was also conducted in Bangalore, and we have the second meeting of the G20 Working Group on Environment and Climate Sustainability, which will be held in Gandhinagar. Okay, so here we have 3 meetings specifically of the G20 Working Group on the environment and climate sustainability. First 2 are the working group meetings, and this one is a sensitization workshop. So you just need to remember their locations. And here we have first education group meeting of the G20 members, which also took place in January only. That is why it is there in this table. So it was held in Chennai. Okay. The upcoming meetings in Bangalore are the second trade and investment working group meeting of G20, which will be held in this month only. Then we have fourth digital economy working group meeting in Bangalore, which will be held in August. Then we have digital economy working group ministers meeting, which will be held on 19th August 2023. Obviously, you don't have to remember the dates, but the meeting and their locations are important. And I have a very big good news for all of you. And the good news is that I know you were pestered about the G20 meetings and their venues. So now we have a specific website created by the government only. And this website has all the G20 meetings which have taken place, which are going to take place on this website alongside their their values. Okay, so you can check out the website, you can create the notes, and if you don't want to create the notes, you can also learn it from the website also. Apart from this, spotlight में तो आपकी ये सारी G20 meetings covered ही हैं. Okay. Next question is, which edition of the Directors General of Police, Inspectors General of Police Conference was held in New Delhi? So here 57th is the right answer. Such type of questions are asked in the exam. So here you just need to remember the venue, the edition, and the meeting itself. Okay. Now the government has a target that India wants to become a developed nation by the year 2047 and a $5 trillion economy by 2025. Okay. So the Director General of Police and the Inspector General of Police Conference basically aims to help in achieving this target of India, because if we are peaceful, then only we can grow. So this is basically a statement that you should be aware of. Which IIT has developed a mobile operating system named as Bhar OS to benefit India's 100 crore cell phone users in India basically? So here guys, the right answer is IIT Madras. Majority of the times you would find that it is IIT Madras spearheading many of the innovations. So this is one among those. Let's have a look at this first of all. So guys, Bharat operating system. I hope all of you are aware what an operating system or software is. Okay, as far as the mobiles are concerned, Android is also an OS. Okay, so similar to Android, India has developed its own operating system, which is a very, I would say, very big step in the technology and innovation space of India. Okay, so IIT Madras has developed this Bhar OS, which is to benefit India's 100 crore cell phone users. Okay, developed indigenously by Janki Operations Private Limited, which is a company established by the IIT Madras. Bharat OS is a significant step towards the digital infrastructure of the nation. Okay, so do remember the exact developer is Janki Operations Private Limited, which is a company incubated by the IIT Madras only. In January 2023, India announced to extend export benefits under the remission of duties and taxes on export products scheme to domestic green hydrogen fuel manufacturers. In the light of the above statement, which of the following statements are incorrect? Okay. First statement is that the scheme is designed to offer refunds against some local levies to exporters of only capital goods. Second statement is India targets for an annual production of 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen by 2030. India aims to provide at least 10% of global demand of hydrogen by 2030. So which of these statements is wrong? So here guys, option A is wrong. Why? Because this scheme does not only apply on the capital goods, it is a larger scheme that applies on every kind of exported good. And in this scheme, the excessive levies that are levied on the exports, that is refunded by the government so that we can incentivize the exports. Okay, so that is the basic crux of this scheme and the news. Okay, and one more thing, that India has approved a $2.11 billion incentive plan to boost the local production and encourage the use of green hydrogen. So here this number is very, very important. Okay, India has planned to spend this much to increase the indigenous production of green hydrogen. I hope you are remembering something. I guess you are remembering. It is National Green Hydrogen Mission or National Hydrogen Mission. I hope it is there in your minds. Otherwise, the preparation is not going on track if you are not reminding of the National Green Hydrogen Mission. So first of all, remember this thing, that it is metric tons. It is 5 million metric tons as per the National Hydrogen Mission, and India hopes to provide at least 10% of the global demand of hydrogen by 2030. Hydrogen is considered as the fuel of the future. Okay, that is why there is so much competition in developing the hydrogen fuel in nation. Then we have the net zero carbon emission target by 2070, and this is the picture. I hope this picture is now ingrained in your mind. Okay, 5 MMT is the production target. 60 to 100 gigawatt of electrolyzer capacity, 125 gigawatt of renewable capacity for the green hydrogen generation. So these are important targets. I hope you remember these targets. As per a newspaper report published in January 2023, the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, announced to change the names of Dash Islands of Andaman and Nicobar Islands after the Param Veer Chakra awardees. The largest unnamed island will be named after the first Param Veer Chakra awardee. The second largest unnamed island will be named after the second Param Veer Chakra awardee, and so on. Okay, so we have to tell the number of islands which will be renamed. So here guys, 21 is the right answer. Now let's have a look at the news itself, because these news are important and can be asked in the exam. So 21 largest unnamed islands of the Andaman and Nicobar Island group will be renamed, and we have learned how the renaming process will take place. So first of all guys, you need to remember that in 2018 also Prime Minister renamed certain islands of the Andaman and Nicobar. So first island is Ross Island, which was renamed as Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Dweep. Then we have Neil Island, which is named as Shaheed Dweep, and Havelock Island, which is named as Swaraj Dweep, and can be asked in the examination. Any of these names can be asked in the examination. For example, what was the prior name of Swaraj Dweep? Although this is not a current affairs question, current affairs part, but still we have seen this trend in RBI that RBI tends to ask questions from the background of the news as well. So please remember these islands which were renamed in 2018 as a tribute to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay. Now let's have a look at the other development project that is being implemented in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and that project is Great Nicobar Plan. Okay, so this plan aims to develop the Great Nicobar Island, which is a part of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I will show you the Great Nicobar Island as well, but first let's have a look at this particular plan. So this plan's development authority is Niti Aayog. Okay, hardly you will see Niti Aayog and engaging in any development project. Okay, so that makes it peculiar and easy for you to remember also. Okay. Then it will be implemented by the Andaman and Nicobar Islands Integrated Development Corporation. So a specific vehicle we have, specific company we have, and the amount is very, I would say, very easy right now, because we have celebrated the 75th anniversary of our independence, and 75th number has become so auspicious that we see this number everywhere in the news. That makes this budget amount very easy to remember. I hope you can remember 75,000 crore Great Nicobar Plan to be implemented by Niti Aayog. Okay? Now let's have a look at the Great Nicobar Island, which is going to be developed. So I hope this picture is clear. Let me see whether you can clearly see the picture or not. I guess it is pretty much clear. So here you can see Great Nicobar Island, and this is going to be developed. Okay, and here we have Port Blair, which is the capital of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and you can clearly see that Andaman and Nicobar Islands is a group of islands. Okay, and on the Google map the real picture is this. Okay, which edition of the India International Science Festival was organized in Bhopal? So it was the 8th edition which was organized, and the theme of the festival was Marching Towards Amrit Kal with Science, Technology and Innovation. Okay, so what keywords you can remember from the theme so that it becomes easier for you? Amrit Kal, okay, Amrit Kal, Science and Technology and Innovation. Okay, so these are the 3 keywords that you need to remember from this theme. Okay, that will help you in guessing the right answer in the examination, and I don't think that you would need to guess the theme of this particular festival if a question on theme is there, if you have remembered these keywords. Okay, so just focus on the keywords. So this was the 8th edition, and the first edition of this festival was organized in 2015. Do remember 2015. This event was to be held in 2022, and now it is going to take place in 2023. That is why it is written as IISF 2022. Similarly, I covered the news today itself that Khelo India's Khelo India University Games, okay, are going to be organized in Uttar Pradesh. And this is, guys, the 2022 edition. Okay, this is the third edition of Khelo India Youth Games, but the year written ahead of these games is 2022 and not 2023, because this is the 2022's edition. Okay, so sometimes these kinds of shit happens, that you have another year written in front of the games, but nevertheless we have to remember this in this manner only. So regarding the Khelo India University Games, let me tell you, Uttar Pradesh is going to host this game in the end of this month only. Okay. Next question is, as per a newspaper report published in January 2023, the average days of employment provided per household under the Mahatma Gandhi National Employment Guarantee Scheme reached at a 5-year low in 2022 to 2023. How many days of employment were provided per household under the scheme in FY23? A very important question. Okay, so the right answer here is 42 days. Over the years, the number of days has been reducing. Okay, so the average number of days of employment provided per household is 42 days in FY23, while it was 50 days in FY22, 52 days in FY21, 48 days in FY20, 51 days in FY19. But how much is the guaranteed number of days? It is 100. And as opposed to this guaranteed or this promised number of days, what the people are getting? 42 days. Even less than the half of this promised employment. Okay, so this scheme seriously needs a revamp. Okay, and you can be asked to write a descriptive answer on this scheme also, so prepare a descriptive answer. Although it's a very old scheme, but it is a flagship scheme and it remains in the news very often. So please prepare a descriptive answer on the Mahatma Gandhi National Employment Guarantee Scheme as well. What is the theme of the B20 2023 summit? So B20, guys, is Business 20, and this is a platform of the G20 only, and it basically brings together the industries, okay, on one platform, so that they can come together, they can discuss the new innovative technologies, and whatever is there to be discussed, they can discuss this on this platform. Now, what is the theme of this summit? So the theme is RAISE. Okay, but RAISE is not the sole theme, I would say, because RAISE in itself is an acronym. It has a full form. So let's have a look at the B20 summit and the full form of RAISE. First of all, the B20 summit was organized in गांधीनगर. ठीक है, अब इसको कैसे याद रखोगे? गुजरात में सबसे ज्यादा बिजनेसमैन पाए जाते हैं, इसीलिए गुजरात के कैपिटल में B20 समिट को ऑर्गेनाइज किया गया. ठीक है, देन the B20 India 2023 dialogue was held on the theme of RAISE, and RAISE stands for responsible, accelerated, innovative, sustainable and equitable businesses. Okay, so you can clearly see that these words are individual words which do not have any connection with each other, right? Responsible, accelerated, innovative, sustainable and equitable. Okay, so on the 5 fingers of your hand, you can remember the theme: responsible, accelerated, innovative, sustainable and equitable businesses. Next point here is that Ahmedabad is going to host the U20 summit of the G20 forum in July 2023. U20 is urban 20. Okay, so this summit is going to focus on the urban cities and their planning, because urban cities planning is a very crucial issue if we want to have a sustained development and a long-term sustainable urbanized locality. Okay. Next is Y20 summit, which is again a part of the G20 summits, and it will be hosted by India for the first time on 5 themes: future of work, climate change and disaster risk reduction, peace building and reconciliation, and youth in democracy. Okay, so this summit is also important. Then we have another summit, that is Think 20 meeting, which will be held under G20 to discuss different kinds of topics like global governance with life, values and well-being. And this life is not the usual English life. This life is the lifestyle for environment. Life for Environment initiative, which the Prime Minister launched in Gujarat. So this Think 20 meeting is going to be held in Bhopal. Okay, so in Bhopal, declaration was also adopted during the Think 20 meeting. Actually, this meeting has already taken place, and because we are discussing the January current affairs, that is why will be is there, but the meeting has already taken place. So during the meeting, the Bhopal declaration was adopted, and the basic idea of Bhopal declaration is to promote the traditional medicine systems like Ayush, and this is very important, guys. You can be asked a question on Bhopal declaration, which was adopted during the Think 20 meeting. Okay, the question can be that on which of the following topics or which of the following themes was the Bhopal declaration based on. Okay, so then the Ayush sector becomes important, so you should be aware of it. Next is the first infrastructure working group meeting, which will be held in Pune under again G20, and this will discuss the ways to make cities economic centers of growth, etc., etc. Not very important to remember. The thing to remember is the first infrastructure working group meeting and its venue, Pune. The meeting will focus on financing cities of tomorrow, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. So this is the theme of the infrastructure working group meeting. Do remember the themes, they can be asked. So guys, the G20 presidency of India is the 18th edition. Prior to India, Indonesia was the president of G20. After India, Brazil is going to take the chairmanship of, presidency of G20. And then after Brazil, South Africa is going to take the presidency of G20. Now, do remember in the recent IFSCA examination, you were asked the G20 Troika question. Okay. So that makes it very, very important for you to know that which country hosted the G20 prior to India and which country is going to host the G20 after India, because that makes the Troika. Troika is basically the current president, the previous president, and the future president. Okay, so now the Troika will be Indonesia, India, plus Brazil. Okay, and from Brazil's point of view, if this question is asked, then India, Brazil plus South Africa. Okay, so do remember this kind of equation, which looks similar to a mathematical equation, but still remember this thing. Okay, Troika is an important question, and Troika is nothing but a group or term given to the countries which have hosted the G20 summits. Question number 9. I hope guys you are not bored and you are with me. You are understanding what I am teaching you. In case you feel bored, do let me know. Sneha Yadav, yes, Spotlight, PIB 247 and RBI 247 are sufficient for current affairs. Okay, इससे ज़्यादा करना भी नहीं चाहिए आपको, because you have static part also. Okay. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has been invited as the chief guest of Republic Day 2023. On the occasion of the Republic Day, Border Security Force is conducting a 7-day-long vigilance exercise named as DASH. So here guys, Operation Alert is the right answer. Okay, so this is one of the questions from the Republic Day events. Now I have a list of events that took place on the Republic Day, which are important from your exams perspective. Okay, so let's have a look at this. First of all, let me tell you that in 2024 Republic Day, India is planning, do pay attention to the word planning to have all women events. Okay, so basically all kinds of parades, all kinds of dance and whatever activity is organized on the Republic Day, only women are going to participate in those exercises. But again, do remember that it is likely right now government is just planning to have such kind of a Republic Day in the year 2024, but let's see what comes out of it. Right now we have the 2023 Republic Day, so let's focus on it. First of all, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi was invited as the chief guest. Border Security Force organized an Operation Alert so that we can have our Republic Day peacefully, and we had it very peacefully. It was the 74th Republic Day of India. This year's Republic Day also focused on Nari Shakti, women empowerment. This is the first Republic Day celebration after the Rajpath was renamed as Kartavya Path. Okay, and do remember the first celebration of Kartavya Path, the first celebration of Republic Day on Kartavya Path focused on women empowerment. Okay, this can also be a question. So think from that perspective as well कि कौन से पॉइंट से किस टाइप का क्वेश्चन निकल सकता है, जब आप ये सोचना शुरू करोगे ना, देन यू आर ऑन द एग्जामिनर सीट, ठीक है, तब आपके बहुत ज़्यादा चांसेस बनेंगे एग्जाम को क्लियर करने के. नेक्स्ट इज the event related to Supreme Court. So basically our 50th Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, has announced to release 1268 judgments in 13 Indian languages. Now the highest number of judgments were translated in Hindi language. Then the second largest number is in Odia language. Then Marathi, Assamese, Garo, and the number goes on. So, no, it's not Odia, it's Malayalam. I'm so sorry, guys. Then we have Tamil also. So, first is Hindi. 1091 judgments were translated into Hindi. Then we have Tamil. Then we have the Malayalam language. Then Telugu. Then we have Odia language. So, it is actually the fourth number language in which the highest number of judgments were translated. But what you have to remember from this entire statement, the number is this 1268 judgments, and I don't think that this kind of a question would be asked in your examination. If this becomes a question in the examination, तो समझ लेना एग्जामिनर का मूड बहुत खराब है, या तो अपने वाइफ से झगड़ के आए हैं या फिर अपने हस्बैंड से झगड़ के आए हैं, जो इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन बना रहे हैं कि कितनी जजमेंट्स को कितनी लैंग्वेजेस में ट्रांसलेट किया गया था रिपब्लिक डे पे. बट नेवरदिलेस कोई सा भी मूड खराब हो, भुगतान आपको नहीं करना है. ओके, यू शुड नॉट बी द लॉस बियरिंग पार्टी. सो इन ऑर्डर टू सेफगार्ड योरसेल्फ, you should be aware of this fact. Okay, so these two facts you should remember, and the third fact is that Hindi is the language in which the maximum number of translations took place. One more thing, that ESCR portal was launched, and this is basically the repository of electronic version of Supreme Court reports. Nothing so important, just ESCR portal is there. Okay, the next is very, very important because it is an update on a government scheme. The update is that over 11 crore rural households of the country have the tap water connection access. Okay, 123 districts and more than 1.53 lakh villages of India have adopted the Har Ghar Jal, which is the motto of the Jal Jeevan Mission. Jal Jeevan Mission was launched in 2019 to provide tap connections to every household in India by the year 2024. ठीक है. Central and state governments are sharing the funds for the project, and the ratio is 50:15. The northeastern and Himalayan states 90:10 is the fund sharing ratio or the finance sharing ratio. The northeast states share 10% of the cost. For coverage, the funds are shared in 50:50 ratio. For support activities and water quality management system, the ratio is 60:40. So what does it mean? It means that, for example, in a village, okay, we have to increase the coverage. We need to lay the pipelines and provide the tap water access to every household. So what are we doing here? We are increasing the coverage of the tap water connections. Okay, so as far as the coverage expenditure is concerned, the ratio will be 50:50 for the states, and then the support and maintenance of these already established pipelines are concerned, which would be called as support activities. When the expenditure of support activities are concerned, then what will be the ratio of expense? It is 60:40. Okay, so the center is going to take a lot of burden as far as the support and maintenance of the quality of water is concerned. But when the coverage is concerned, then the state is also taking the half of the expense ratio. Okay, I hope this much is clear to all of you. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, now Egypt. Why was Egypt invited? Because there is a very important, I would say, there is a significance that we attach to the country called Egypt. Why is it? First of all, Egypt is planning to allot Indian industries land in the Suez Canal Special Economic Zone. I hope all of you are aware of the Suez Canal. Okay. So India and Egypt have signed a strategic agreement which includes an agreement on terrorism, and this was signed during the Republic Day visit of the President of Egypt. The countries will work together in resolving the cross-border terrorism, and such kind of initiatives are signed by India with many countries. Okay, so there is nothing special attached to Egypt. The speciality I'm going to reveal. Okay, just wait for a second. First of all, let's have a look at this agreement. So this agreement will focus in areas such as cybersecurity, information technology, youth, culture, and broadcasting. Okay, so that is the focus of this area. Now, the special focus that was given to Egypt, which I was talking about, is regarding this corridor: India, Middle East, Europe, freight, food, energy corridor. Okay, so basically, India is trying to create a corridor which will go from India to Middle East. Okay, so there is no map. I should have used a map, but I'm so sorry for that because I forgot to put the map here. But nevertheless, understand this point. Suppose this is India, and from Mumbai, we are planning to go to the Middle East, and through Middle East, we are going to planning to go to the Europe. Okay, now in the Middle East, I hope all of you are aware that the Sinai Peninsula of Egypt is in the Middle East of the Asian continent. Okay, so through Sinai, we are planning to route the corridor to Europe, and this corridor will be used to do trade. This corridor will be used to generate electricity, energy, and transport food. So these are the three focus areas which we are focusing through this corridor, and this can only be done when we have good relations with Egypt, right? So that is the special focus area or the significance we are attaching to Egypt. Although this corridor is I would say right now in the visionary stage only, we are planning on this corridor. Nothing significant or nothing has come on the ground as of now. So that is all. So India, although India has land access to the Middle East, the region goes through Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. Okay, we can go through the land also, but that land area goes from these turbulent countries. We are not on good terms with these countries. That is why we are choosing Egypt to route this thing. Okay, we are also planning to partner Israel for this, but Israel in itself is a little bit in turbulence with your with the other country, Palestine. Okay, so I just forgot the name of Palestine. So I hope you have understood that corridor. Now let's move on to the next thing, next event. India and Egypt signed an MOU to facilitate content exchange, capacity building, and co-production between Prasar Bharati and National Media Authority of Egypt. Okay, Prasar Bharati, public service broadcaster of India, currently has 39 MOUs with foreign broadcasters for cooperation and collaboration in the field of broadcasting. Okay, it may happen that this question is not asked from you, but this can be asked. Okay, 39 MOUs as of January 2023. Other MOUs signed between India and Egypt: Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, which is an emergency response team for the cyber attacks under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Okay, it was established after 2008. So this certain and Egyptian Computer Emergency Readiness Team, they have collaborated through the MOU. Then we have cooperation in IT, culture, and youth matters. So these are the subject matters of different MOUs signed between India and Egypt. Padma Awards are announced on the Republic Day. So a total of 106 people won the Padma Awards. Very crucial, very, very important Padma Awards because questions come from Padma Awards. A total of 91 people have won the Padma Shri. A lot of people won Padma Shri, but Padma Vibhushan and Padma Bhushan is won by a little bit of people. Okay, so a few people won the Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan awards. President has also announced the 412 Gallantry Awards for the defense personnel. Now here we have the Padma Vibhushan people. So these are the 6 people. Out of these 6 people, Balakrishna Doshi, who is an architect, is very, very important because he has recently passed away. Okay, so there are 2 news connecting this famous architect of India. So do remember, Balakrishna Doshi has won the Padma Bhushan. He's from architecture field and he belongs to the state of Gujarat. Belonged. Zakir Hussain, SM Krishna, Dilip Mathalanabis, and Srinivasan Vardhan, Mulayam Singh Yadav. Okay, so these are the people who have won the Padma Vibhushan, and all of these are important. Anyone can be asked from you. Nowadays, the examiner tends to ask from the Padma Shri also, but I usually provide this answer to the students that they can avoid Padma Shri awards until or unless very prominent people are there in the news. Okay, so until that happens, you can avoid remembering the Padma Shri, because we have read over 90 people have won the Padma Shri award. How many can you remember? Okay, so it's better that you can focus on less, but that less should be there in your mind. Now coming back to the Padma Vibhushan, a total of 9 people have won. So these are the 9 people who have won the Padma Vibhushan award, and these are the various categories. Okay, and these are their states to which they belong. Okay, best tableau. So a total of 17 states and UTs and 6 ministries and departments participated and showed their tableau. The best tableau award was won by Uttarakhand. The best tableau for ministries and department was won by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and the theme of this tableau was Eklavya Model Residential Schools, which is a very prominent scheme also of the government. So this can also be a question. Best marching contingent in tri-services, Punjab Regiment Center Contingent. Best marching contingent from CAPF and other auxiliary services, CRPF marching contingent. Okay. So finally, the Republic Day events have ended. Question number 10. Himalayan Cataract Project co-founder Dr. Sandup Roy has won the ISA Award for Service to Humanity, a top civilian award of Bahrain. Okay, this can be a question. Okay, so remember, ISA Award for Service is the top honor of Bahrain. Dr. Sandup Roy is fondly called as a god of sight because he saved 120,000 people's eyesight who would have otherwise gone blind in the absence of treatment. He belongs to Nepal. Which of the following is the correct terminology for his profession? Okay, so as I have already told you, RBI is slowly shifting from merely current affairs to general awareness. This question is a very, I would say, expected question. You can expect this kind of a question. So you have to keep your eyes and mind open and look for each and every word in the news item, which can become a probable question in the examination. Now, what is the correct term for his profession? The correct term is ophthalmologist. Okay. So guys, this award has 1 million USD as the prize. Prize money is also asked sometimes, but usually I have seen this trend that the prize money is for prize money of the Indian awards are usually asked. But nevertheless, just be on the safer side and remember USD 1 million is the award money for the ISA Award for Service to Humanity. Okay, so he belongs to Nepal. This is another significant fact that you should remember. And another fact is that he is the recipient of Padma Shri award by India. He has also won the National Order of Merit of Bhutan, as well as Raman Magsaysay Award of Philippines. Where was the Smart City CEO conference conducted by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs held? Okay. So here Panaji is the right answer. Central government will celebrate the India Energy Week 2023 in February in Bangalore, Karnataka. During the celebration, a methanol blended diesel powered ship named MD-15, because it has 15% methanol blend, will be launched. The methanol for this ship will be obtained from the Mahabahu Brahmaputra project. The project is being implemented in which state? So here guys, Assam is the right answer. Okay, and from the options you can clearly see that Brahmaputra only flows through Assam, so Assam could be a probable answer. And if in case you don't know the answer of this question and you are in the examination hall, you can deploy such techniques, okay, in the exam. So India Energy Week 2023, Bangalore is the right answer. Bangalore में हुआ है ये. So these are the two keywords. India Energy Week 2023, Bangalore, Karnataka. Then MD-15, because it has 15% of methanol blend, and the remaining 85% is your diesel. So this ship was launched during the India Energy Week. The methanol for this ship was obtained from the Mahabahu Brahmaputra project, which is being implemented in Assam. Now, a little more about the project. So this project was launched in 2021 in Assam to produce 100 tons per day of methanol. Assam Petrochemical Limited in Namrup currently produces 100 tons per day of methanol and is implementing a new project to increase the production to 500 tons per day. Okay, so this is again important from the exams perspective. Where has American India Foundation established India's first STEM innovation and learning center? So what is the right answer here? The right answer is Chennai. Now, apart from this, the Tamil Nadu CM M.K. Stalin has launched the Vannavil Mandaram initiative in the government schools in order to instill this scientific rationalism in students and simplify their learning of science and maths. So, Vannavil Mandaram initiative. The basic idea of this initiative is to instill the scientific temperament among the students. One question I have for all of you, and that question is, quickly tell me which state is implementing the Saharsh program in the schools. Quickly tell me which state is implementing this initiative. Very good, Tripura. Now quickly tell me happy hour initiative in which state's schools? The right answer is Delhi. The Delhi government has launched this happy hour as a part of their curriculum. Okay. Recently, Lunglai Fire Station won the Subhash Chandra Bose Apada Prabandhan Puraskar for 2023. Which state does the fire station belong to? So guys, it belongs to Mizoram. Now I have one question for all of you. Quickly tell me the prize money given to the winners of this award. Prize money of the Subhash Chandra Bose Apada Prabandhan Puraskar. Okay, so central government has basically selected the Odisha State Disaster Management Authority and Lunglai Fire Station, Mizoram, for this Apada Prabandhan Puraskar for the year 2023. Okay, now this award is an Indian National Award for Disaster Management, and every individual and organization is awarded by the Government of India on January 23, which is the Parakaram Divas in India. Parakaram Divas is the birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose. Where is the 3-day International Summit on Crafts being developed? Being organized. So it is Jaipur. So guys, this International Summit on Crafts was based on the Odisha's art and craft. Okay, and here is the list of certain art and crafts from Odisha which are very, very famous. First is Pattachitra, sand art, palm leaf painting, Jyoti Chitta, hornwork, papier mâche, and these are some of the other works. Okay, you can have a look at this website also. So this website basically elaborates all these artworks, and you can read a little bit about these artworks, because if you read a little bit, then it will be easier for you to remember it. By which year does the Himachal Pradesh government aim to become the first green energy state? So guys, 2025 is the right answer. Now related to Himachal Pradesh only, in January 2022, remember a year before, January 2022, Himachal Pradesh became the first state in the country to have 100% of the households with LPG gas connections. And in order to ensure the 100% coverage, the state government does not only implement the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, the state has also launched its own Himachal Grahini Suvidha scheme in order to give the LPG cylinders to the to the households which are not covered under the Ujjwala scheme. Okay, so this is very important for you to know, apart from the geographic and the static facts related to Himachal Pradesh. For example, the national parks, the wildlife sanctuaries, the biosphere reserves in the particular state, the capital and everything of the state. These are some of the static facts. Please read about Himachal Pradesh a lot. Okay, not only Himachal Pradesh but the different states of India. You should be aware of those the static facts of the states. Next question is, recently Union Agriculture and Farmer Welfare Ministry approved an apple cluster under the cluster development program. Where will this cluster be developed? So guys, it will be developed in Shopian, which is a district in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so recently apple cluster has been announced. First of all, let me just take you to the cluster development scheme. So Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Narendra Singh Tomar is the current minister. The ministry has launched the Horticulture Cluster Development Program in the year 2021. And what is the basic idea of this program? The basic idea is to choose a specific area or a district and develop that district as a cluster. Okay? And this cluster will be of a particular horticulture crop. Like here we have the example of apple. Okay, so the Shopian district in the in the Jammu and Kashmir, not Himachal, remember Shopian in Jammu and Kashmir, will be developed as the apple cluster. Okay, so the apples from this cluster will be sold with a brand name. Okay, so the matter of fact that the Shopian district is an apple cluster automatically gives the brand to the apple developed in this particular district. Okay, so marketing it is going to help. Then it is going to help in increasing the excess of these apples from this particular district. Okay, so that is the basic idea of this horticulture cluster development program. Develop a particular district as a cluster of one particular product, and that product will be sold in the market as a cluster product, or you can say by giving the name of the cluster, the brand name has automatically been attached to the particular product. Nodal agency is National Horticulture Board. Type of scheme is central sector scheme. That means the entire funding will be given by the central government. Total 53 clusters were identified at the time of its launch. Total 53 clusters will be launched under the scheme throughout its implementation duration. And when it was launched, 12 horticulture clusters were selected on a pilot basis, and these are those 12 clusters. Okay, and in 2023 we are seeing that Shopian has been announced as the apple cluster right now. Okay, so Shopian was among the 12 clusters selected in 2021 as a pilot under the horticulture cluster development program. Okay, and these are the other districts. Do remember Kinnaur from Himachal Pradesh has also been selected for apple only. So this can be asked from you. Let's have a look at this. The apple cluster project is estimated to cost 135.23 crore rupees, out of which 37.05 crore would be provided by the ministry as a grant in aid. Okay? 4 years would be the implementation time period. Estimated investment in the cluster development project. Okay, so I'm talking about the complete scheme. So the total estimated investment in the horticulture cluster development program is estimated to be 10,000 crore rupees. Okay, in the all 53 clusters. The scheme will be conversed with the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund and the Central Sector Scheme of Formation and Promotion of 10,000 FPOs to obtain synergies. Okay, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund aims to develop the agriculture infrastructure, for example warehousing and every kind of infrastructure that is needed in the agriculture sector, and this FPO formation is basically for organizing the farmers so that they can gain better output, or they can gain better profits out of their products. Okay, so these two schemes will be converged with the cluster development program. What does the meaning of convergence here? The meaning of convergence here is that infrastructure will be developed. Okay, so some fund will be taken from the agriculture infrastructure fund. Then FPOs will be created. And let's take the example of Shopian. So in Shopian, apple farmer producer organization will be created so that the farmers also get their benefit, and the target of this SPO is also achieved, and the target of the cluster development program is also achieved. So this is how the convergence is achieved. The next question is, where was the largest biennial tri-services amphibious exercise named MFEX 2023 held? So Kakinanda, which is a port in Andhra Pradesh, is the right answer. What is the maximum sum assured in LIC Jeevan Azad plan? So 5 lakh rupees is the right answer. Some of the key features is that it is a non-linked, non-participating premium endowment plan. Minimum sum assured is 2 lakh, maximum is 5 lakh, and there will be no medical examination for the sum assured or of up to rupees 3 lakhs. For a sum assured of above 3 lakh, a medical examination is required. Okay, so these are some of the key features. I hope you can remember these key features of the plan. Minimum and maximum term is 15 to 20 years. Okay, you can take this endowment plan for a 15 years period or for a 20-year period also. Entry age is 90 days to 50 years. The premium payment term is equal to the policy term minus 8 years. Again, not very significant because such detailed questions have not been asked so far in your RBI SEBI NABARD exams, but your IRDA exam, PFRDA exam, and IFSCA exam, so such type of exams tend to ask these type of details. Okay, so for that, do remember that the premium payment term is equal to the policy term minus 8 years. For example, if you are opting for 15 years period, so 15 year minus 8 equals to 7. So you have to pay the premium for a period of 7 years. The death benefit will not be less than 105% of the total premium paid up to the date of death. Next question is, when was the liberalized remittances scheme launched by RBI? Now this is very important because it is an RBI scheme. So when was it launched? 2004. What is the scheme all about? So first of all, do remember that recently RBI has released the outward remittances under the LRS scheme for residents, individuals data for the month of November 2022. And because this data was released, the scheme is in the news. Okay, the data in itself is not important. The scheme is important. So the scheme was launched in 2004 by RBI, and the purpose of this scheme is to allow the Indians to transfer money to NRIs abroad. For example, if I go to abroad to study and my parents send me money, then that money should be routed through this scheme, or that money should be sent through the liberalized remittance scheme. Okay, so basically the scheme streamlines the overseas payment and was made available for the residents, individuals in India. Now this does not mean that if my parents have to send me money, they need to take the permission of RBI or they need to get themselves enrolled under the LRS scheme. That is not the meaning of this thing. The meaning here is that RBI undertakes all the basically liberalized remittance scheme. Under this LRS scheme, what happens is that RBI undertakes all kinds of overseas payment and monitors the payments under this scheme. How much money has gone to the overseas and how much money has come to India. It is basically for the outward payments. Okay, so how much money has gone from India to the other nations. That is the basic idea of it, and RBI just monitors the data. LRS allows the parents to transfer money to their children studying abroad. Any Indian resident can participate in it and transfer up to $250,000 abroad in a financial year. Okay, so this amount is very, very important. Do remember this amount. Next question is, which of the following statements are not true about the Monument Mitra scheme? First statement is, the Monument Mitra scheme was launched in 2017 by the Ministry of Culture. The Monument Mitra scheme allows the adoption of monument sites by people and organizations for the maintenance of ASI sites. The Monument Mitra scheme will be revamped to enable the private firms to partner for the upkeep and maintenance of 1,000 ASI monuments. Which of these statements is incorrect? The statement 1 is incorrect. So option D is the right answer. Why? Because initially when this scheme was launched, it was under the Ministry of Tourism and not Ministry of Culture. That is why it is wrong. Okay. Later on, it was transferred to Ministry of Culture. One more thing, that India aims to become the superpower or the guru, Vishwa guru in every kind of sphere. So why should we leave behind the culture? So Ministry of Culture is going to portray India as a cultural superpower. And for that, the Ministry of Culture is going to undertake certain activities. Okay. So we have 4 different meetings of the G20 cultural track. And in those meetings, the focus will be on making India the superpower of culture, okay, the center of culture. So first meeting will take place at Khajuraho in Madhya Pradesh. Other 2 meets will take place at Bhubaneswar and Hampi, and these are these particular cities have historic and cultural significance also, okay. You can read more about these particular cities in order to know more about them. At 4 locations, a thematic exhibition will be held, and these 4 locations will be decided. So 3 locations have already been decided, and the 4th location will be decided. Okay, it is not decided as of now. Khajuraho, Bhubaneswar, and Hampi. At these locations, the meetings will be held. Question number 22. Recently, South Africa has signed an agreement with India to introduce dozens of African cheetahs to India over the next decade. Choose the correct option about South Africa from the statements given below. Okay. So South Africa has 2 capitals, Cape Town and Johannesburg. South Africa's currency is Loti. South Africa shares land borders with Uganda in the north, Mauritania in the west, Rwanda in the east, and Atlantic Ocean in the south. South Africa is the only African country that is surrounded by 2 oceans, Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean. South Africa houses 2 landlocked countries within its geographical territories, which are Gambia and Equatorial Guinea. So which of these statements are correct? So only option D is correct. Okay, let me show you the map of South Africa first. So South Africa is this country. Here we have the Atlantic Ocean. This is the Indian Ocean. And these are the 2 countries which are landlocked countries within the territory of South Africa. Okay. So we have Estavani, which is also called as Swaziland, and Lesotho. ठीक है, Lesotho का नाम सुन के कोई तो मूवी ध्यान में आ रही है. Although I am forgetting the name, but I am remembering Ajay Devgan. South Africa has basically signed an agreement with India to introduce the African cheetahs to India over the next decade. South Africa capitals are Cape Town, and these different capitals are there. Currency is the rand. Okay. Now on the model of South Africa only, Andhra Pradesh also tried to have 3 capitals. So do remember, Andhra Pradesh has 3 capitals, and the most prominent capital is the legislative capital, that is Cape Town. So that is why we always hear that Cape Town is the capital of South Africa, but it is not the complete truth. It is one of the capitals. We have a total of 3 capitals of South Africa, and we have already read about the countries Lesotho and Estavani. Estavani is the new name, and Swaziland was the older name. And these are the 2 landlocked countries within the territory of South Africa. Next question is, Egypt plans to allot land to Indian industries in Suez Canal specific economic zone. Name the port of Suez Canal in the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so Port Said is the right answer. So here is the Suez Canal special economic zone, and here we have the 2 ports, Port Said and Port Suez, and this is the Sinai Peninsula. I hope you can clearly see it. In case you are not able to see it, don't worry, you will get the PDF. Egypt's capital is Cairo, currency is pound. Arabic is the official language of this country. 90% of the population of Egypt practice Islam, and it is a transcontinental country. Okay, it is divided into Africa and Asia through Sinai Peninsula, which I have already told you about. Next question is, Union Cabinet has approved the Competition Amendment Bill 2022 to amend the Competition Act of 2002 to regulate mergers and acquisitions based on the value of transactions. As per the bill, the deals with transaction value of more than will require the CCI's approval. So 2000 crore is the right answer. Now one more thing that happened in this bill, that thing is that the bill proposes to reduce the timeline for the CCI to pass an order on such transactions from 210 to 150 days. Whether CCI approves the merger or acquisition or not, that order should be passed within 150 days. This is what the bill proposes. Okay, so two amounts are there which you should be aware of and remember. Now about CCI. So CCI is a statutory body established in 2002 by the Competition Act of 2002. 2003 में established हुई थी and 2002 में Competition Act was passed. And the basic idea of Competition Commission of India is to eliminate the practices, the malpractices in the field of economy. ठीक है. Mergers and acquisitions beyond a certain threshold require the approval of the Competition Commission of India under the Competition Act, because if we have blind mergers and acquisition, then also it would be a threat to the functioning of the economy. Question number 25 is, National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited has acquired its first stressed asset, JP Infratech, from lender at a 55% haircut from the dash. So guys, IDBI Bank is the right answer. Now quickly tell me what a haircut is. Meaning of haircut in the chats. Which question are you talking about? Yes, model Andhra Pradesh has modeled its 3 capitals on the South Africa's model, but right now Andhra Pradesh has scrapped the plan and it has renamed, or you can say shifted, its capital to Visakhapatnam. So right now the capital of Andhra Pradesh is Visakhapatnam. मलिक, आप किस क्वेश्चन की बात कर रहे हैं? प्लीज लेट मी नो द क्वेश्चन. Okay, so regarding IDBI, we often hear the news of the divestment that the government is planning. So let's have a look at it. So government owns 45.48% of IDBI Bank and LIC owns 49.24% of the bank's total stake. Out of the respective stakes, IDBI is planning to divest, the government is planning to divest 30.48% stake in IDBI, and LIC is planning to divest 30.24% stake in the bank. Okay, so these are the respective states of the government and the LIC and the plans of their divestment, and this is very important for you to remember. Yes. Yes, the reduction in the value of the asset, the difference in the prices is haircut. Okay, when the good is not sold in the market, then we have to pay the discount on the price. ठीक है, यूजुअली अपनी ही एसेट पे प्राइस लेस करके वी हैव टू सेल, एंड इन द जेपी इंफ्राटेक्स क्वेश्चन वी वर सेलिंग द bad loans, the NPAs, to the NARCL. That is why there was a haircut needed. So from the current price and the price which is allocated to the asset, the difference between them is called the haircut. Recently, India was elected as the vice chair of the 12th session of FAO's Intergovernmental Technical Working Group on Animal Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture at Rome. Remember, FAO's headquarters is in Rome. USA is the chair of the working group. Which of the following countries have been selected as the vice chair of the group along with India? So guys, let me tell you, a lot of countries were chosen as the vice chair. And among those countries, Spain, Saudi Arabia, South Africa and Tonga are the 4 countries. Hence option D is the right answer. So India was elected as the vice chair during the 12th session of the Intergovernmental Technical Working Group on Animal Genetics Resources, and USA is the chair. Spain, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Tonga and Brazil. Okay, so one country is left only, that is Brazil, and apart from this one country, all these countries were mentioned in the option. Okay, so these are the vice chairs of the session along with India. Spain, Saudi Arabia, South Africa. So we have the ASCII cube. Spain, Saudi Arabia, South Africa. Then we have Tonga and Brazil. Next question is, in January 2023, the CARE organization has launched She Feeds the World program in India to improve the food security and nutrition of poor rural households, with a strong emphasis on women small-scale producers. Which of the following organization has partnered with CARE organization for this program? So here guys, PepsiCo Foundation is the right answer. Who among the following from the FM's cracks code is responsible for carrying out the privatization of two public sector banks? Remember, this is the month of January, nearing the Feb, and Feb is the month of budget, right? So the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has established her own cracks code, and this cracks code included 8 members, and out of those 8 members, Vivek Joshi was given the responsibility to chart out the plan for the privatization of two public sector banks. Do remember, the names of these banks have not been revealed, and also one general insurance, not the general insurance, government insurance company is also there for privatization. The government is also looking to privatize one insurance company owned by it. Okay. Now let's have a look at the cracks code. TV Somanathan, who is an economist and a secretary in the Ministry of Finance. Ajay Seth, the Department of Economics Affairs secretary and secretary in charge of the finance track of the G20 2023. He spearheaded initiatives like the sovereign green bond issuance. All these facts are important, guys. Pay attention to it. Then we have Tuhin Kant Pandey, who is the secretary of Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. He played a role in the privatization of Air India, Neelanchal Ispat Nigam, and the IPO of LIC. He is responsible for the privatization of, I guess this line is repeated here, okay. 2023 to 2024 tasks which have been given to Tuhin Kant Pandey is, first, chart out the plan for the sale of IDBI Bank. Okay, we have just looked at the percentages held by the government and the LIC in IDBI and the plan that they want to sell, the share they want to sell. So do remember these percentages. Now we have Tuhin Kant Pandey given this responsibility to sell the stakes of the government. Then privatization of the Shipping Corporation of India, Container Corporation of India, Bharat Earth Movers, and Nagar Nar Steel Plant of NMDC. Okay. So do remember this statement is very, very important. Then we have Sanjay Malhotra, the chairman and MD of Rural Electrification Corporation. Vivek Joshi, complete privatization of 2 state-owned banks and 1 general insurance company. Anant Nageshwaran, who is the chief economic advisor, he is also a part of the cracks code. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So here I am wrong. There are a total of 6 people in the FM's cracks code, not 8. Which country has developed the world's first photonic-based quantum computing? So here guys, Canada is the answer. No need to go into the details. Which company has launched the Vikram credit card for the Indian Defence, Paramilitary and Police personnel? So BOB Financial Solutions Limited is the right answer. So this particular company has various defense products. First is Yodha for the Indian Army. Then we have Varuna for the Navy. Rakshame for the Coast Guard, and Sentinel for the Assam Rifles. Which edition of the Interpol's Young Global Police Leaders Program was held in New Delhi? So here 3rd is the right answer. So India has hosted the 3rd edition of this Leaders Program. First of all, do remember Lyon in France is the headquarter of Interpol. Okay. Theme of this particular program or the meeting is building trust in an age of disinformation and deep fakes. Established in 2019, the particular program aims to bring a select group of aspiring young law enforcement officials to explore the emerging trends in policing and provide them with the experienced outputs. The 2nd edition of this particular program will be held in UAE on the theme of connecting minds, creating the future. Again, very important statement. This statement is here just to make you understand the relevance of this program, but this statement is very crucial. So remember the facts here and also the launch year of this particular program. Which city will be hosting the Space 20 program of the G20 in April? So Shillong is the right answer. Recently, the Secretary of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Shri Alkesh Kumar Sharma, has inaugurated 1 ton per day PCB recycling facility at the Center for Materials for Electronics Technology in Dash. So Hyderabad, guys, is the right answer. So this particular center is located in Hyderabad. A little more about the center. So it is an autonomous scientific society under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Many can confuse this center with the Ministry of Science and Technology's center, but this is not the center. This is not the Ministry of Science and Technology center. This particular center is established under the Ministry of Electronics and IT. So do remember. It has 3 R&D laboratories in Hyderabad, Pune and Thrissur. And the CMET Hyderabad lab is basically focused on the development of high purity semiconductors and strategic materials, including metals and alloys. Not very important, okay, but this fact is important, that this particular laboratory is located in Hyderabad. Question number 34. No, 89 are not left because we have 50 questions in this session only, okay? So don't worry. I guess you are asking about the number of questions which are left, if I have guessed it right. With which company has Samir, India's premier R&D Institute of Ministry of Electronics and IT, signed an MOU to contribute towards the development of new, improved and innovative technologies for advancing healthcare and diagnostic access in India in Bangalore? So here, guys, what is the right answer? The right answer is Siemens Healthineers. Okay. So Samir is basically an acronym for Society for Applied Microwave Electronics Engineering and Research. Okay, not very significant to remember its applications or its specialization. Just remember it is the Society for Applied Microwave Electronics Engineering and Research. Recently, Solvay, a chemical company, has partnered with UNESCO to launch a STEM education program in Asia. The 3-year program aims at engaging high schoolers and graduate students from India, Indonesia, and South Korea to find solutions to national and regional environmental issues through science. The program will be focused on sustainable living for one planet theme. Which country does the company belong to? So this Solvay company belongs to Belgium. Okay, and we have read that it is going to focus on India, Indonesia and South Korea. This is only important, and the theme, that is sustainable living for one planet. Which African country has launched the Afrigo, a domestic card to rival foreign cards like MasterCard and RuPay, and become a cashless society and save the country's foreign transactions fees? Nigeria here is the right answer. Capital is Abuja, currency is Naira, the language is English. Official language is English. Nigeria is located in the western part of the African continent, and it is situated between the Sahel to the north and the Gulf of Guinea to the south in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so do that. Which edition of the BRICS summit will be held in 2023? So here 15th edition will be held. South Africa is going to host the 15th edition, and do remember next year in 2025, it is going to host the G20 summit as well. So in Durban city, the BRICS summit will take place. China will host the 14th edition of the China hosted the 14th edition of the BRICS summit in 2022 on the theme of building a high quality partnership to usher in a new era of global development. In January 2023, NPCI and HDFC Insurance have partnered to allow HDFC customers to pay premiums by using their UPI 123 Pay service. How many modes of payments are available in this particular service? So here, guys, 4 modes are available, and I hope you are aware that NPCI has launched its UPI Lite also and its UPI 123 Pay, which runs on the feature phone, and this UPI Lite runs on the smartphone, but it is also available in offline mode. So these are the new innovations done by the NPCI. Now the 123 Pay can be used in 4 modes: voice payments through IVR number, proximity sound based payments, missed call based payment ways, and app based scan and pay on the feature phones. The limits, which are very important: per day transaction limit is 1 lakh rupees and per transaction limit is 5,000 rupees on UPI 123 Pay. Okay, and this is, guys, the UPI Lite, which gives a near offline payment experience. Okay, so UPI Lite may reduce the load on the core banking system. Why? Because in UPI Lite, what you can do is you can transfer the money, and from, for example, 2,000 rupees you have transferred, and from this 2,000 rupees you can make payment to different merchants. Now the benefit of this UPI Lite is that the small amount transaction will not appear in your bank statement. Okay, otherwise, suppose you have bought milk for rupees 51 and the amount, and you are using phone pay, the amount is directly getting deducted from your bank account. Then when you have your bank statement, you have so many number of transactions, and in order to reduce this load, this number of transactions, not only in the customer's passbook but also the load on the bank's system, the UPI Lite has been launched by NPCI. So here you can transfer the money in just one go, and from there you can make the payments. Next question is, which company has launched Samadhan initiative, a one-stop solution center for oil palm farmers? Godrej Agrovet is the right answer. Now, under the Samadhan initiative, this particular company aims to establish 50 Samadhan centers across India by 2027 to support the planting of approximately 2,000 hectares of oil palm, which is a very, very important, I would say, target. Okay. Now we are discussing about the oil palms. So let's have a look at the National Mission on Edible Oil Palm, which was launched in August 2021 with a special focus on northeastern states. Ministries, Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. The basic target under the National Mission on Edible Oil is 10 lakh hectares of oil palm to be cultivated by 2027, and the target of Godrej Agrovet is going to play a significant role in accomplishment of this target. Okay? So that is why the news in itself is very, very important. The program's introduction of the viability gap payment for long-term sustainable development and increased incentives for new farmers are two key features of this particular project. When is the Data Privacy Day observed? So January 28 is the right answer. No theme was there. On this day, first of all, remember the 17th edition of this day was celebrated in 2023. Now we have a particular Data Security Council as well in India, which is an NPO set up under the NASCOM. Okay, it has organized this particular day on a theme, which is Think Privacy First. Do remember this theme of the of India. Okay. Stefano Rodota Award 2023 is also announced. Now, first of all, do remember this thing, that Stefano Rodota was a person in Europe, okay, and he made significant contributions in the protection of data, and he made significant work. He did a lot of work in the field of data protection, and that is why after his death, this award was constituted. Now, this award was given to these people. Okay, you can have a look at these people and try to remember their names, which seems very difficult. But if we want to achieve the dream, then कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. Dream achieve करने के लिए you have to walk on the path of thorns. Okay, guys, 10 more questions. So have a little bit of more patience. The Ministry of Electronics and IT's Startup Hub has announced the MSH along with Meta has announced the list of 120 startups and innovators for the XR Startup Program. The XR Startup Program is a collaboration between Meta and the Ministry Startup Hub to accelerate India's contribution towards building the foundations of metaverse and nurturing the development of extended reality technologies in India. A total of 80 shortlisted innovators will receive a grant of dash. So 50,000 rupees is the right answer. So what is this XR startup program? This is extended reality startup program, which is a collaboration between Meta and the ministry. Meta का नाम जरूर ध्यान रखना, it is important. Now the purpose of this program is to do good in the extended reality technologies ecosystem in India. Okay, so a total of 80 shortlisted innovators will be selected and they will be given a funding so that they develop innovative projects, and that is the basic idea. The funding will be 50,000 rupees. And out of these 80 shortlisted innovators, 16 innovators will be given the grants of 20 lakh to help them develop the prototypes. Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways is developing a mega international container transshipment port at Galathip Bay of Great Nicobar Island of Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. I have already shown you the Great Nicobar Island. I hope you have that in your mind, right? How much amount has been allocated for this particular project? So here guys, 41,000 crore is the right answer. The central government launched the 20-point program in 1975. It has been revised twice since its launch in 1982 and 86. It aims to eradicate poverty and improve the lives of rural people using 20 points. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation is tasked with monitoring dash schemes and initiatives under the TTP program. So guys, 65 is the right answer. Now let me tell you what this TPP program is. Okay, we have the 20, these are the 20 segments. Okay, for example, if we are talking about the poverty eradication and we have different particular schemes, for example, 5 schemes are under the poverty eradication pillar, then all those 5 schemes will be monitored by the Ministry of Statistics. Okay, similarly, power to people, support to farmers, labor welfare, all these are different points under which we have different schemes merged. Okay, so these pointers are working as the theme, and under these under these themes we have specific schemes, and all those schemes are 65 in number. A total of 65 schemes are being observed by the Ministry of Statistics, and the ministry prepares the progress report on these particular schemes, and the ministry has released the progress report on a very flagship scheme, because of which this particular project is here in the news. Can any one of you tell me the progress report was on which theme or which scheme? This is your question, guys. Quickly tell me. Let me tell you that the planning is done on a quarterly basis. Okay, planning under this TPP program is done on a quarterly basis. Where in India was the Nobel's Helen found recently? So here guys, Arunachal Pradesh is the right answer. So this is the Noble Helen butterfly, and here is our Arunachal Pradesh, guys. So this is Arunachal Pradesh, and you can clearly see China, Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam and Cambodia. So these are countries which are bordering Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, not exactly bordering, but the environmental conditions in all these countries and the state are very similar to each other. That's why this particular butterfly is native to these countries and Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Which is India's top B school as per the Indian Institutional Ranking Framework? So here guys, what is the right answer? The right answer is IIM Ahmedabad. This is the list given here for the government colleges and the private colleges. Which state has the highest number of universities in India as per the All India Survey on Higher Education? So guys, Rajasthan is the right answer. Which oil company has exported the first ever consignment of Avgas 100 LL, a special aviation fuel meant for piston engine aircraft and unmanned aerial vehicles, to Papua New Guinea? So it is Indian Oil Corporation Limited. What is the capital of this country? So here guys, Port Moresby is the capital. Who has been appointed as a brand ambassador of NMDC? Nikhat Zareen, who is a boxer. Soliga community belongs to Karnataka. Okay. So recently a wasp was found in Karnataka, and this wasp is named after this particular community. That is why this community is here in the question. Now, fortunately and thankfully, we have completed this long session. In case, guys, you have any doubts, you can ask me here. So that was our session. I hope you all have liked it. If you guys have any feedbacks, you can give me. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. और कुछ नहीं तो यही बता दो कितनी प्रिपरेशन हो गई है आप लोगों की, कैसी चल रही है आप लोगों की प्रिपरेशन. आई होप यू हैव अटेम्प्टेड द मॉक टेस्ट. मॉक टेस्ट गाइस जरूर प्रिपेयर करना, क्योंकि दे गिव यू द आइडिया, रियल आइडिया. हो गए हैं उदय. जनवरी करंट अफेयर्स आर कंप्लीटेड. द नेक्स्ट सेशन विल बी ऑफ फेब्रुवरी. Shivam, slow. The session was slow because I was teaching you in this session. I had all the news items in the session. That is why it took a little time. I hope, but you have realized the importance of the session, and you are able to retain and recall the facts. Yes, it was the last session of January, and Malik Shahid. But we completes center news only. What does that mean? I'm not able to understand your query. ओके. महक, एंजाइटी तो होगी. जैसे जैसे एग्जाम आएगा, आई गेस एंजाइटी लेवल और ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएंगे आप लोगों के. बट द पॉइंट हियर इज, जितना टाइम आप एंजाइटी में गवाओगे ना अपना, उस टाइम में तो आप कवर कर सकते हो अपने टारगेट्स. ओके, सो ट्राई टू मेडिटेट एटलीस्ट दिस टाइम पे. 10 से 15 मिनट के लिए मेडिटेट करो, बहुत ज़रूरी है. अदरवाइज यू विल वेस्ट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम इन जस्ट योर एंशियसनेस. ओह नाइस. फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स कंप्लीट कर लिया आपने, वेरी नाइस. बट डू keep revising. Okay, keep revising the current affairs, because otherwise you will forget. Oh, thank you, Priyal. I guess you are one of the few people who tell me this. Am I audible right now? I guess I am audible. So you are one of those people who tell that spotlight is easy to remember. Very few people say this thing. Otherwise, I always get to hear that spotlight is very difficult to remember. Very good. Mock आपको practice करनी चाहिए, and more than mocks, as far as your quant and reasoning are concerned, you can practice from our practice book also. Questions सब जितने ज़्यादा practice करोगे उतनी ज़्यादा आपकी speed बढ़ेगी, and speed is the only game changer here. Why did you think, Scorpius, that RBI would be easy? RBI is getting difficult day by day. Monthly compilation of RBI 247 is given in the paid course. So if you are an enrolled student, there is a specific course in the bundle. You can access the course, and in the course we have the PDFs. Okay, till March, Abhinav has completed the current affairs. But guys, I can see a lot of you are right now focusing on the current affairs only. Is that true? If in case you are only focusing on current affairs, then don't do it, guys. Current affairs do hold a major proportion, but you have your static also. ठीक है, उसको भी साथ साथ prepare करो. Government schemes भी हैं, indices reports भी है, a lot is there. So you have to take everything accordingly. Yes, Vrashati, the questions would be same because I have taken them directly from the spotlight. So you would find these questions same in everywhere. In the weekly sessions also, in the spotlight, you would find these questions. In the daily quizzes, you will find these questions. And in the sessions also, but not in the mock test. In the mock test you will find different questions. Okay, so prepare thoroughly from the magazine. I'm warning you here only. Mock test में भी वही questions नहीं मिलेंगे आपको जो spotlight में. There will be surprises for you in the mock test, so prepare yourself for those surprises. Aswari Deshpande, you have asked this question a lot of time discussion forum in the app. Actually, I'm not recalling where will you find the discussion forum option, but it is on the Google. Okay, it's a particular website. It's not a feature on our application. So you can you can open your Google browser and write discussions.anujjindal.in as the URL, and then you will go to the discussions forum website. Okay. Okay, so January CA, January current affairs, PIB and RBI is done. Very nice. Okay, very nice. अच्छा है. बट इसके साथ साथ अभी आपके पास टाइम है. ठीक है, अभी तो आरबीआई ने खुद अपना फॉर्म रिलीज नहीं किया, तो अभी आपके पास टाइम है. प्रिपेयर डिस्क्रिप्टिव आंसर राइटिंग ऑल्सो गाइज. आई एम चेकिंग इंग्लिश डिस्क्रिप्टिव आंसर्स माई सेल्फ फॉर यू ऑल. So I have seen this thing that the people don't know how to write, how to prepare the draft and how to put forward the points. तो आंसर राइटिंग की भी प्रैक्टिस करो फॉर ESI, FM एंड इंग्लिश, क्योंकि अभी आपके पास टाइम है. You won't have the time after your phase 1 because there will be only 20 days after your phase 1 is done for phase 2. तो उन 20 days में आंसर राइटिंग की प्रैक्टिस करोगे या रिवाइज करोगे? तो प्रैक्टिस करो अभी से. सेक्शनल टेस्ट फॉर कंप्लीट मंथ करंट अफेयर्स. देखो शिवम खंडेलवाल, वी हैव द डेली क्विजेस, वी हैव द मंथली क्विज कंपाइलेशन इन द मैगजीन ऑफ स्पॉटलाइट ओनली, एंड मॉक टेस्ट आपको अलग से मिल रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो यही है हमारे पास जितने भी क्विजेस हैं, इसके अलावा नहीं मिलेंगे आपको क्विजेस. April spotlight and May spotlight, June spotlight, all these spotlights and questions will be covered through the sessions, and the sessions date is mentioned in the timetable. Okay, so according to the timetable, I'm going to take the sessions for April, May, June and your previous months. Okay. Shubham, we have given you in the timetable also when should you attempt the first mock test. Right now it won't be of any help if you attempt the first mock test as of now. I guess 20th May is the date that has been given to you for your first mock test. On that date you should attempt your first mock test. The reason behind this is that by that date you would have practiced a lot, and by that date, as the exam would be nearing, you would be in the exam mode. Your mental state would be in exam mode. Okay, so if you apply the mocks then it will be of greater help for you. Which test are you talking about? I guess you are talking about the test given in the timetable. I don't know which test are you talking about. Shivam, you need to clarify this. पूरी PDF पढ़नी है मलिक शाहिद. पूरी PDF. Spotlight magazine cannot be subsumed to just 150 questions. We have a lot more data in the magazine, and from any data a question can be framed. So please read the complete Spotlight. These sessions are not there to replace the magazine, right? These sessions are there just to help you revise what you have learned in the magazine. Okay, it's never too late. समटाइम्स. ओके, नॉट एवरी टाइम, इट्स नेवर टू लेट. अभी भी टाइम है आपके पास, आप कर सकते हो. मॉक टेस्ट लगाओ अपने और प्रैक्टिस करो आंसर राइटिंग, क्योंकि प्रैक्टिस नहीं करोगे यू डोंट हैव ओनली फेज 1, यू हैव फेज 2 ऑल्सो, और फेज 2 में आपके जितने अच्छे मार्क्स आएंगे उतने ज़्यादा आपके चांसेस होंगे क्लियर करने के एग्जाम। ओके, सो फेज 2 निकालो, फेज 2 की भी प्रैक्टिस करो फेज 1 के साथ साथ। Any more queries that you guys have? Monthly कर लो, it's easy. Weekly spotlight तो I do not provide. I guess you are talking about the sessions. I guess you should go for the monthly spotlight PDF as far as the PDF is concerned. And if you are talking about the monthly, weekly sessions of January and February, then you can watch the sessions also. Otherwise, also I am taking the revision sessions. So why waste your time? You can just pick up the PDF, learn from it, and then attend these revision sessions. Don't look out for the previous weekly sessions. Okay, guys, I guess your queries are answered, and now I think I should leave the session. Thank you so much guys for being so nice, and I hope you are preparing hard. All the best.